Thunderstorms swept across the Broome area on Monday morning and also across the weekend as well as the build-up continues. We are finally, though, going to see an arrival of the monsoon. We have been waiting a long time for that. But where are we sitting so far this wet season across the tropics? Well, in Queensland, we have seen some pretty decent rain with tropical cyclones in the region. 953 millimetres for Cairns. That's the wettest start to the wet season in 10 years. Whilst Darwin has had its driest start to the wet season in 27 years. And in Wyndham in Western Australia, 236 millimetres is the third driest start to the wet season in 40 years. So it's pretty substantial. Typically, the monsoon arrives around the 25th of December, give or take a few days or a few weeks, when the latest arrival of the monsoon on record is the 25th of January, and that's getting pretty close. But we will be seeing the arrival of the monsoon around Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. So it's one of the latest arrivals on record, and you expect it to be a little bit late due to a El Nino, but we haven't quite been in El Nino. It's been El Nino-like conditions in parts of the Pacific. But let's have a look at the past 3 months' rainfall. So this is October through to December, and anywhere shaded in red has seen below average rainfall, so you can see pockets across parts of the Northern Territory and Western Australia, and start of January was similar story as well, but through Queensland you can see wetter than usual conditions through the tropics. So we're finally going to see that increase in rain for the Northern Territory and Western Australia in coming days. Let's take a look. So you can see we've got just a few showers and thunderstorms over the next couple of days, but that will really ramp up as we move through the back end of the week. And in New South Wales, we'll continue to see showers and thunderstorms along the ranges most days this week, especially during the working week before it clears up for much of the weekend. But you can see by the end of the working week and the start of the weekend, we may have one, maybe even two tropical cyclones, two at the most, in the region. It's no guarantees with any of these, but it does look like we're going to see that increase in tropical activity by the time we get to the weekend, definitely, and a fair bit of rain through the NT as well. And with this Western Australian system, that might lead to a fair bit of rainfall drifting across southern Australia at some point during the weekend. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, but there's a lot of model uncertainty, as you would expect, when you've got the potential of two tropical systems forming. Now, this is the rain we're expecting across Tuesday. The rain's starting to increase across the far northern tropics of the NT and Queensland. Thunderstorms primarily for the northern ranges in New South Wales, with widespread 5 to 10 in that darker shading. And then we'll focus a little bit more along the southern ranges into Wednesday as the rainfall increases through the NT and it starts to drift a little bit further south through Western Australia by the time we get to Thursday. And those storms should clear out of New South Wales by Friday as the rain continues in the tropics and drifts further south once again, especially in Queensland on the weekend, but also in Western Australia as well. It's no guarantee of rainfall every day through parts of the Northern Territory, as if a tropical cyclone forms, it might grab some of that rainfall. So these are just a good guide of what is possible at this early stage in the forecast. But let's take a look at rounding it up for the week. And at this early stage, it looks like some pretty heavy falls. Anywhere shaded in red is looking at widespread falls above 150 millimetres. So that's right across the Australian tropics due to the monsoon. Heavy rain pushing into parts of Western Australia as well. And just those thunderstorms in quite a few afternoons for the northern ranges in particular of New South Wales.
On Monday, we had two fires burning at emergency warning level in Tasmania. That included the Myena fire, which was still at emergency level well into the night. Now, later this week, we're going to see fire dangers increasing once again as a low-pressure system makes its way from the southwest into the southeast of the country. I spoke to Grace Legg from the Bureau of Meteorology about the impact of this low on our fire danger.
Unfortunately, when we see a low like this, which is quite strong, it will drag any of the heat that's up in northern WA, which we have seen a lot of. So it'll once again be dragging that further through the south and across the country with it, and bringing quite strong northerly winds as well. So once again, causing these elevated fire dangers.
So over Tuesday, we're going to start to see that impacting on the southwest of the country. We're also going to see a cool change moving across Tasmania, but we are going to see our winds strengthening ahead of that, and that's ramping up our fire danger very high for most of the state, severe for the Midlands. We've also got very high across Victoria, parts of South Australia, and in Western Australia where we've got those heat and the increasing winds ahead of that weather pushing into the southwest. Severe fire danger also in place for regions including the Goldfields, the Gascoyne, and also the Ashburton inland. As we look further ahead, our low tracks further to the east, and we're going to see those winds strengthening ahead of it, pushing that hot air into the south. So our severe fire danger extends into more eastern parts of Western Australia, as you can see here, and it's also expanding across southern parts of South Australia. So we've got severe fire danger moving into areas including the west coast. As we look further ahead and our system tracks even further to the east, that severe fire danger moves over to parts of eastern South Australia with extreme fire danger forecast for the lower Eyre Peninsula. We've also got that about the Mount Lofty ranges, so ramping up that fire danger. So we look even further ahead, our fire danger increases across parts of Victoria with very high fire danger again for Tasmania.
8 years ago, an event was set in motion that would change the course of summer forever. Eventually, this event would reach critical mass. That eventually has arrived. This summer.
It's back!
Predicted across the summer. Experts are calling this phenomena the Big Bang.
Radio on Fox Cricket. Take cover.